Hello out there, comic book lovers. It is Friday. So you know what that means. I'm doing my Friday night reviews. I am going to take three comics from the previous Wednesday, so the three what I thought were the best, and do a review of them. And then I'm going to take the one that I liked the least. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, but it's the one that I liked the least. And check it out. All right, now let's go on to the book that I liked the least this week. Unfortunately, DC versus Vampires. Cardstock variant number 1. Published by DC. Duh. Since it is DC versus, it's written by James Tynion IV. Oh, where is the... I hate how they don't put this stuff up right up near the front. Might be in the back. I really should pay attention to this stuff before I start shooting these. But anyway, James Tynion IV. It starts out with a character they're narrating. He is talking to somebody. But it's like, the world needs your help. And it's I, Vampire. So it's the guy from I, Vampire. And so he's saying the world needs your help. And then he's... it's a vampire. And you can see every time he gets hit by a car... and he's burning up in the sun. He's getting to the Hall of Justice, and he gets taken inside where he's met by Hal Jordan and Zan from the Wonder Twins. And I cannot believe they are bringing the Wonder Twins into canon. I know this is an Elseworld book, but they were brought into canon somewhere else. And, so this guy is sitting there talking about how his ex-girlfriend, who is now the queen of the vampires, had been murdered, had been killed by a rogue faction of vampires. And she was the only vampire keeping a war between the vampires and humans from happening. And so he is sitting there trying to come to the Justice League to get them to help stop the war. So basically, the story, this is setting things up. This is one of 12. Then, of course, you find out Hal Jordan, this isn't really a surprise, is a vampire. And then he explains why he could have gone out in the sun without burning up. So you have things, and then he takes dude out. That's not really, much of a spoiler, because, stuff like that's going to happen in books like this. But all right, so let me get into this. James Tynion IV is really hit and miss on stuff. And I think what he's trying to do here is do a kind of pull a Tom Taylor and do Deceased. But see, that's the problem. He didn't. It's not done as well as Tom Taylor does with Deceased. I like the premise that, there's going to be a war between humans and the vampires, and it's It's in the title. And all that. And there's going to be some ups and downs and all that. Cool. I understand that. But this was not as good as Deceased, which I think is what they're trying to do. That being said, it wasn't as bad as I expected, because I was expecting it to be either really good or really bad. It's not bad. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it's already got a good premise that, if someone like Hal Jordan gets taken, damn. I mean, that guy shouldn't have been able to get taken, but he got it. He got it. And so, what is going to happen next? And this guy just basically takes out Zan like nobody's business. And more power to you. Get rid of the Wonder Twins. And it's actually kind of funny, because there's a scene in there, I wish I had to close this up, where Hal Jordan's on the phone, and he's thought someone called him, and he's like, yeah, I was just dealing with a problem. I'm with Zan. And he's like, no, that's the sister. No, that's the monkey. This is the other one. And so even the Justice League people don't know the difference between the Wonder Twins and the monkey. That was a really good scene. But I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5, just because it is Halloween and I'm feeling kind of generous. 3.25 out of 5. And I really, really, really hope this gets better. Gets a little better. Because part of my problem with this, makes it down a little bit, is the art. The art was rough. And just they're using way too many reds and stuff, and so it's kind of splotchy red, and there's a couple scenes where it's hard to tell who is doing what, or you can see what's going on, but you can't tell who it is because there's a little shadow, really red and stuff like that. So it's like, if you're gonna make some stylistic choices like that, at least make it so you can tell who is doing what. All right, so 3.25 out of 5, and just damn, I hope it gets a lot better. Well, not a lot better, but I hope it gets better. So, did you read it? Let me know in the comments below what you think, if you saw it. And like, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy your comics.